Good morning, everyone. Here's your Eastern Idaho weather and hazard outlook briefing for Wednesday, October 13th. We do have another storm system moving in today and tomorrow. Nothing like we saw in the last 24 hours or so, just some lighter accumulations across the board. There'll be a little bit of a breeze today and tomorrow. I don't expect any major impacts with that. There could be a few spots with a little bit of blowing and drifting snow, but nothing expected to cause some major impacts in our area. Other than that, high pressure returns and builds through the weekend. Here on the satellite loop, our low that brought all of our weather is already well into the plains. We do have some wraparound moisture, some light snow along the Wyoming border. We also have some lower clouds continuing to clear from west to east, but you can already see the next storm moving ashore this morning. That moves in west to east later on today, and it's not going to stick around very long. This will be out of our hair by probably late tomorrow afternoon into early Thursday evening. Looking at the weather risk outlook, not much in the way of impacts expected. Trying to differentiate a few spots that might see a little bit of an impact today. Again, minor impacts, nothing that would be anything major to worry about. A little bit of snow and wind in some of the eastern highland areas for today, especially this afternoon into tonight. A little bit of afternoon snow might create some issues over Willow Creek Summit, some of those higher passes, the same up in Limhi County. And for tomorrow morning, especially once you get north of Pocatello up into the upper Snake Plain area, there might be a little bit more impact on the morning drive. Southeast Highlands, the eastern highlands for tomorrow, just because there's going to be a little bit more snow falling in those areas. Like I said, and through the weekend, nothing really going on. That ridge starts to slip to the east on Sunday, allowing for a little bit of wind to develop in the afternoon across portions of central and eastern Idaho in our area. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we're going to see the forecast evolving today. A little bit of light snow and flurry activity, especially over the eastern highlands, maybe the far upper end of the Snake Plain this afternoon. As we go through the day, you can see that first push, the main push of moisture moving in, and this will probably end up being a little more showery than just a band sitting over some areas, but we will have some pockets of a little bit of longer-lasting snow with this event, and this is going to be mostly snow. We might see a few spots trying to get a little bit of a rain-snow mix this afternoon, but for the most part, this will be a snow event. You'll see that moving in through this afternoon. You'll notice the Magic Valley kind of gets left out of this event. Most of this is going to be the highland areas and from Pocatello northward across the Snake Plain as we go into tonight. You'll notice that we have a little bit of wraparound starting late tonight, tomorrow morning, coming down the Snake Plain, a little bit of a convergence zone event developing across the upper plain, moving down towards Pocatello. It may reach Pocatello, most likely up around Blackfoot to the north is where that main area of snow is going to stay for tonight into tomorrow morning. And then we'll see that band eventually ending as we go into the afternoon hours. A little bit of light snow redeveloping, some light snow showers across up towards Clark County, Monida Pass, moving over into Fremont County and the Island Park area. So going back to those snow amounts, not much expected this morning at all across the area. That's where that little bit of lingering snow was over along the Wyoming border. Just a little bit of light snow, especially up on the higher passes and higher peaks this afternoon in the central mountains, eventually spreading into the South Hills, the Albion Mountains, the bench areas along the Snake Plain. Winds this afternoon do start to pick up, and there'll be a few pockets of probably some blowing, drifting snow, but no major impacts expected from that anywhere across our area. For highs this afternoon, a little warmer down in the Magic Valley. Temperatures in the mid-40s there. Elsewhere, 30s and 40s. If you're headed up into the mountains, it's going to be pretty chilly again today with highs only getting into the 20s and 30s. For this evening, there's that snow, especially over the portions of the central mountains moving into the eastern highlands. Some of those places like Pine Creek Pass, Teton Pass, up towards Reynolds Pass might see a little bit more than an inch. Otherwise, just some spotty snow continuing. And in the overnight hours, there's that push along the benches, along the I-15 corridor down towards the Pocatello area. But the bulk of the snow will be shifting into the Big Hole Mountains, also up into the Island Park area, and certainly over into the Tetons overnight. Those winds do continue, and they actually do increase as that wave moves through. You can see those winds increasing across the South Hills and the Albion Mountains. Some of those folks late tonight into early tomorrow morning, seeing some gusts over 30 miles per hour. And if it's still snowing there definitely will be a little bit of blowing and drifting in those areas. Temperatures pretty chilly. We're not looking at anybody really above freezing, even into the Magic Valley. Temperatures dropping down to around 30 degrees. The typical cold spots running down into the single digits to just below zero, it looks like, for tomorrow morning. And for tomorrow morning into the afternoon, you can see the snow generally pushing east towards the Wyoming border with some just a light lingering snowfall in those areas. Those winds tomorrow still continuing, especially down south, some of those gusts over 30 miles per hour. And those winds do expand across the Magic Valley and across the rest of the South Hills, especially once you get down towards the Snake River and also down around 84 and 86. Some of those winds more widespread, looking at 25 to 35 miles an hour for tomorrow afternoon. And temperatures do warm up slightly, especially once you get farther up the Snake Plain. Temperatures into the low 40s, still mid-40s across the Magic Valley into the Treasure Valley over towards Mountain Home, closer to 50 degrees. Otherwise, some 20s and 30s still remaining up in the high country. And for Friday morning, a chilly morning indeed. Some of those areas, again, below zero in our typical colder spots in the central mountains. Otherwise, teens and 20s across the board. We do start warming up Friday under that ridge, and temperatures down once you get from Pocatello west into the low to mid-50s, 50 up towards Stanley, also around Chalice and Salmon as well. For Saturday morning, we do warm up just a bit, looking at some temperatures trying to stay just above freezing down towards Oakley, also in portions of the Magic and Treasure Valley. We warm up a few more degrees, temperatures pushing near 60 in a few locations for Saturday afternoon, and going into Sunday even warmer as that ridge starts to slip off to the east. So it will be warming up, so a lot of places will see some snow melting over the next couple of days. We'll have to watch and see how rapidly that snow melts in those particular areas. Once again, we do have some light snow today and tomorrow. The accumulations will be generally light. A little bit of a breeze out there may produce a few pockets of blowing and drifting snow, but no widespread impacts expected from that. Otherwise, high pressure builds through the weekend. We do dry out, at least in terms of no precipitation falling, and temperatures will be warming up across the board. Have a great day out there, and do stay safe, everyone.